Hello, this is Dr. Mark Miravalli. I'm here in Ireland with Anne Alea Apostle. We're going through Volume 9, which is dedicated to the work and the nature of the holy angels. I would like to read the September 3rd, 2004 message from Jesus and then ask Anne for her comments. These are the words of our Lord Jesus. My dear ones, you must learn to work as part of a team. Any task entrusted to you has also been entrusted to one or more angels who are assigned to assist you. You see that you are never alone. Even the smallest task you must complete will have at least one angel attached. Your angel guardian is always with you. So you are wrong to feel overwhelmed by the mission given to you, because you bear only one part of the responsibility. When you feel heavily burdened, you must ask yourself what I am requesting of you in this moment. Then you must pray to the angels to help you. Then you must pray to the saints to intercede for you. After that, you must remember that Mary, your heavenly mother, is near you and also interceding for you. She watches closely for any sign that you are struggling. After all of that, remember that I, Jesus Christ, the God of all, am with you. Ask yourself again if you are overwhelmed. When you are worrying about the future, there is always a risk of becoming frightened because you have the graces only for the present. You are given what you need for this moment. Remain with me, with Mary, your mother, and the saints and angels. We are not in the future. We are not in the past. We are here in the present. And you are one part of our powerful team. And your thoughts?
Well, it's so lovely the way the Lord reminds us that we are part of a team, because there can be a serious temptation to be overwhelmed at times, and that is not from God. The Lord hasn't, what creates that is we have a fear that Jesus has given us something that we can't cope with, that we're inadequate for. And that's impossible. That couldn't be the case, because the Lord, in His divine wisdom, in His perfect knowledge of us, matches our capabilities to what is assigned to us,
Right.
And so you're part of a heavenly team. Now, if we can say in a moment of feeling unsure, overwhelmed, well, I have the angels, and then we remember that the angels are there. Well, I have the saints. And we remember the lives of the saints, how they overcame obstacles. And then I have the Blessed Mother here. She's truly, present and watching. And then I have Jesus Christ. I mean, it becomes embarrassing if you do give it the consideration.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. And even the humility of our Lord, He puts Himself last. And then, then you have me. But it's almost like an examination of conscience. Now, how many of us can say that, we go many days without feeling overwhelmed? Most of us do. And it's almost like, all right, so you feel overwhelmed. So let's go through the steps. You have one part. It's like building a house, you have the nails. You don't have everything that you're supposed to do. You have that one part. And as we go through who's on our team, going through the mystical body roster gives us that peace. And then He says again, now, are you overwhelmed?
I know.
So it's really an examination of conscience that we have to put into practice when we are bound to feel overwhelmed at times, to remember we're just one small part of a massive mystical body team.
Right. And I don't think I don't know, Jesus lists Himself last, but it's almost like saying that the foundation is last. It's really the bedrock.
It's a climax.
Yeah, and what Christ is, He's saying, and then you have me, and it's almost like funny in the sense that you and I are united. And so when He says that, and then you have me, there's a tenderness to it. There's a little bit of a teasing to it. Like, are you forgetting about me, right. Jesus Christ, in your soul? Right. And that really is the power source.
Right.
Right.
And then, this other key lesson about, I always think of the Old Testament and the manna in the desert. You know, and if you and I, with our families, we're told by God, I want you to only have enough food for today. You can't save or earn money for food for tomorrow, just for today. And that would be a tremendous act of faith. And only with the Sabbath did they have the opportunity of getting enough food for today and tomorrow. And so that, I think, rings true for us today in that spiritual order that we are, I think, looking forward tends to bring us anxiety. When Jesus is saying, you've got to stay in today, you only have grace for today, and I'm only giving you grace for today to avoid that type of, again, fighting against this overwhelming feeling.
Well, I think it's the enemy saying this. Oh, you're doing okay now, huh? Everything seems okay in this moment. Here, look in the future. Look what I've got. Look what's in store. How are you going to cope with that?
Right.
It's a very great distraction, attempt to distract us from the reality that is our capability in the present unified with Christ.
Right.
But I know it would be a very challenging idea to say, okay, let's just go with enough food for a day or two. I mean, you know, I can't even imagine it.
Right.
It'd be like camping, you know.
Yeah, right.
It's horrible.
And then he says, remain with me, with Mary your mother, the saints and the angels. We are not in the future. We are not in the past. We are here in the present. And you're part of a powerful team. So it seems like that 1-2 punch. One is, we're only one part of a massive, super powerful team. Number two, don't get ahead. Stay with today. And that combination seems to be the 1-2 punch against our tendency to feel overwhelmed. And maybe, Anne, in our time more than any other time. We're an age of daily planners. We're an age of looking to the future. We're worried about Social Security, retirement funds. And Jesus is trying to keep us in the present where he has his grace.
And look what's coming at us each day to distract us in terms of information and stimulus. So remaining in the present has to be a decision.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Anne.